Hello painters, it's Debbie from acrylicpouring.com today, and I'm going to show you how I get the paint off when I need to scrape some old projects and things that haven't turned out. This is, I've got a few ceramic tiles which I've done various practices and experiments and tests and things on, and I've decided they're not to be kept. So in the past I have just tried to pour right over them, and sometimes it works, but most of the time it doesn't. And what happens is when I put a new layer of paint on, it actually brings up the layer underneath, and then I get funny kind of folds and puckers in the finished work that doesn't look good. So basically, if I want to reuse one of these tiles, if it's wet, it's fine, I can wipe it off, give it a wash and it's done. But once it's dry, I need something a bit more drastic to get the paint off the surface. And because my experiments have shown that if I repaint on a tile, it brings the paint up, well then it makes a lot of sense to use this. This is my spilled paint from a previous project, and all I need to do if I want to get this paint off from this previous project is just pick up some of this old paint, and then I just dab it on top of the paint on the project that I want to take off. And if I leave it a few minutes, ooh, getting it everywhere, then the paint on the top kind of loosens the dried paint on the tile already, and I can scrape it right off. So there's one, all done, and then I just kind of put it off to one side. Here's another one. Doesn't have to be good. Spread it all on, and then it just loosens the paint and it scrapes off really cleanly. So I will spread this on a few of these, just use it up, and then I'll leave it a few minutes for these to just soak in, and then I'll show you how I scrape the paint back off again. Now sometimes I'll use the paint that's dripped down for other projects. I can use it for dipping, for example, but today there was a lot of it. It was just kind of two colours. And I thought it would be perfect just to use it as an example here of how I, rather than just leave it all to dry in my tray like that, I can actually use it for a good purpose and get rid of this. So there we go. This was a experiment between the different pouring mediums that didn't quite work out, and it's gone. Okay, so I will leave these a few minutes to soak in, and then we'll give them a little scrape, and we'll have new tiles to paint on again. So it's only been about 2 minutes. I've already given this one a little scrape, and that paint that was all around the edge there is just coming right off. Can be a bit of a messy job. I just use this little plastic scraper, and up it comes. I should probably have left it a bit longer. I haven't got much battery left on my video, on my camera rather. There we go. It'll get most of it off. I can leave it a little bit longer or go back over it with a bit more paint to get these bits. And then I'll just wipe it with a paper towel. Scrape along the sides as well with the scraper to get any bits off there, but generally there's not so much thick paint on the sides anyway, so that kind of just comes off with a paper towel anyway. But you can see as I scrape it, the sides will clean up as well. And then I'll give it a good wipe with a paper towel. These bits here can generally just pick up and put in the bin, and then final rinse under the sink, it's done. So that's that one. These ones here weren't started off, these are brand new, so let's get that out of the way. They may or may not be ready. Let's have a look. Normally once you get it started, there we go, it's starting to lift, then you can actually lift it up and it will peel, and it comes off really cleanly, and the paint just kind of peels off then. There you go. I haven't left this quite long enough, but generally I'd be able to just pick this up and peel the whole lot off in one piece, and you can see that the new layer of just the waste paint on the top has softened up this other paint, and I can just peel it right off. And of course that shows also what happens if I try and paint over an existing one. If I try and paint over an existing project, it loosens the paint and it would just come right away like this, you know, so it can make it all pucker and not have a good result. So there we are, easy as that. That's another good use for your leftover paint. You can use it to clean up previous projects that you've got. So I've got loads of leftovers here, and I've got probably about 20 tiles that need cleaning, so I'm going to get right messy, but it will give me 20 new painting surfaces. So that's a quick 5-minute tip. Thank you very much for watching. I don't know how I'm going to turn my camera off now, and I'll see you at acrylicpouring.com again very soon.